Hi, have you heard that the BC government has now released the details of the Real Estate Homebuyers Protection Plan, also known as a cooling off period? Do you want to get the inside scoop on what this is all about? Then stick around and I'll tell you all about it. Hi, I am Gary and I live with my wife Rosemary in beautiful Greater Victoria on southern Vancouver Island on the west coast of Canada. We believe this is the best place in Canada to live and to retire to. If you want to know more, then let us send you a free relocation guide. See the link below in the video description to request your copy. Last week, the BC provincial government announced the rollout of their Home Buyer Protection Plan, or HPP, which was first announced in November 2022. This was also known as a cooling off period. These new rules will begin January 1st in 2023. Note that the rules are for residential real estate and not for new residential construction, which already has a 7-day rescission period, nor for commercial real estate. I will talk about a few exemptions later on in the residential market. I released a video about this with the BC Real Estate Association's recommendations a few months ago. You can see that video at the link above, right here. This is what the BC government has released. Number 1, a 3-day mandatory rescission period. The mandatory 3-day period will give home buyers an opportunity to take the important steps such as securing financing or arranging home inspections as they prepare to make one of their biggest financial decisions. The buyers can still put in subject conditions in the purchase agreement for financing, inspections, strata documents, title reviews, and more. These subject conditions will typically have longer waive dates of 5 to 10 days. The buyer can rescind or cancel the accepted offer during the 3-day rescission period for any reason. Where this helps the buyer is in the higher risk offers where there are no subject conditions. These types of offers were used most often in the last while as there were lots of multiple offers and buyers waived many of the subject conditions in order to be considered for the purchase. Many felt there wasn't a chance without waiving them. Currently, however, the number of multiple offers is decreasing in the Victoria market. Number 2, introduction of a 0.25% rescission or cancellation fee. The new rules include a rescission or cancellation fee of 0.25% of the purchase price, or $250 for every $100,000 in the offer, for those who choose to back out of a deal during the 3-day rescission period. For example, if the purchaser exercised the right of rescission on a $1 million home, they would be required to pay $2,500 to the seller. This is to reduce the situation where a sophisticated buyer frivolously puts an offer on 3 or 4 properties at one time, gets accepted on one or more of the offers, and then rescinds all but the favored offer. I think the amount should have been higher than 0.25%, but at least this is a good start. The seller is therefore accepting a bit more risk of an offer being accepted and then rescinded within the 3-day period, and instead getting a cancellation fee in lieu of the failed offer. So that is the basis of the new home buyer purchase plan. Number 3, the nuts and bolts on how this will work. So next, I'm going to tell you about the details on how this will actually work. Please note that the following information is not complete regarding the rollout and the application of the HPP at this time. The information I'm providing is from the BC Real Estate Association and may be subject to change, so you need to check from time to time and see what's happening. So number 4, deposits. If a deposit is held in trust by a brokerage, then they may release it upon rescission. The rescission fee amount is provided to the seller, and that's in regards to the cancellation of the accepted offer. The balance is returned to the buyer despite what may be provided in the purchase agreement. Number 5, exemptions and waivers. The HPP cannot be waived. Narrow exemptions include the following: sales subject to Rule A21 of the Real Estate Development Marketing Act, sales of residential real estate property located on leased land, sales of leasehold interest in residential real estate, sales done at auctions, and sales under a court order or supervision of a court. So number 6 is defining residential real estate. The new policy will apply to the following types of structures: detached homes, semi-detached homes, townhouses, apartments in a duplex or other multi-unit dwelling, residential strata lots, manufactured homes that are fixed to land, and cooperative interests that include a right of use or occupation of a dwelling. The Home Buyer Protection Plan does not apply to pre-sale properties already subject to a rescission period under the Real Estate Development Marketing Act. Number 7 are the requirements to inform consumers. Licensees or realtors must provide the general information on the Home Buyer Protection Plan to all consumers through the Disclosure of Representation and Trading Services handout. Licensees or realtors must provide general information on the HPP to all consumers through the document, the Disclosure of Representation in Trading Services. Number 8 is the service of notice. Home buyers must serve rescission notices on the seller in one of the following forms: registered mail, by fax, by email with a read receipt, and by personal service. Number 9, rescission notice content. Rescission notice must contain the address, the property identification descriptor, the names and signature of the purchaser, and the names of the seller, and finally the date of the notice. And remember, these must be within 3 days of the accepted offer date. Number 10 is additional disclosures. Licensees or realtors must also provide an additional mandatory disclosure at the time of preparing an offer on behalf of presenting an offer to a client, containing the following information. It must state that the HPP cannot be waived. It must state what the rescission period is. It must state the dollar amount of the rescission fee. It must tell how the deposit handling is done, and it must describe the HPP exemptions. Well, that is certainly a lot to understand, and I know I've covered a lot of material here. What you should do is talk to your real estate agent or realtor to get the full details as more information is released by the BC government. But hang in there, we're almost done, but not quite. I wanted to tell you what the BC Real Estate Association thinks, and I have a few questions for you to consider. The BC Real Estate Association is extremely disappointed that the ministry has again ignored thorough research consumer protection considerations from both the BC Real Estate Association and the province's independent real estate regulator, the BC Financial Services Authority. On behalf of realtors, the BC Real Estate Association has spoken to the BC Financial Services Authority and a wide array of media outlets to express the disappointment and concern with the Minister's decision to ignore these recommendations and implement the Home Buyer Protection Plan in isolation. So, what do you think? Do you think that this will help consumers be better able to purchase property in BC? Is there a better way than the 3-day rescission period? And what about the sellers? Will the market simply change where the accepted offers will always be the highest offer since the other subject conditions may be irrelevant because of the rescission period? Well, only time will tell. This is certainly a very complicated time for both sellers and buyers. You should really work with a skilled realtor in your effort to buy and sell your property. If you would like to talk to Rosemary or me about the Victoria market or anything else real estate related, then you can find my online booking schedule in the description below to book either a phone call or a Zoom call, and we would be glad to chat with you. If you like this video, then please give us a thumbs up and share with a friend. We would also love to hear your comments below about this video or any other real estate topic. Press the subscribe button and touch the notification bell to be notified of our new weekly video releases every Wednesday. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.